This is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Okay, cool. This is what you're doing.
Antonio. And all right, listen, rate you, bruv. I rate you, yeah. Listen, you can appreciate quality when you see it, bruv. Yeah. Mikel Antonio is a G, bruv. You already know.
Toby is what we call ahead of the curve. He called it on Joe Willock and he called it Antonio, bro. Corey's not even here yet. I'm guessing Corey's preparing his crown. I don't know what he's doing, but he's going to join us in a sec, hopefully. But Toby, bro, how are you feeling, man? Ahead of the curve, tactical genius, whatever you want to call it. Tactical Tobs.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Speechless.
That video, I'm never going to live down that video. It's hilarious. Random people will I'll just be having an argument with someone, yeah, and random people will just they'll put the video, they'll be like, this you, and it will just rattle me. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy talking this? And I hate that I've given random people that power over me. It just
Do you know what it is, yeah? Because you're always very calm, composed. You spit facts about your team. You don't get too ahead of yourself. But that moment, the dream of Antonio Conte, it kind of like, bro, your soul left your body there.
And anytime I see that video, it's further indication of why I fucking hate this club. Like, they're just the worst. They're the only ones who can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. They're the only ones. Oh, horrible.
The reason why it was easy to remember that clip is, one, Corey posted it on Twitter and he definitely wanted that in there, and two, because Antonio Conte is now going to Manchester United, it would seem, in the next 3 games, maybe just before the international break. So you might be seeing the manager you wanted, but just not in your dugout.
You might be seeing that clip quite a lot this season.
Big up to the chat as well. Lee, bro, how are you doing, bro? Your team's going on a little unbeaten run. I seen, obviously, a gal, I know you guys kissed and made up. He's put a little unbeaten record up on Twitter. Party starts. Let's get it going. The popcorn's out. Let's go.
I quoted it and I was like 10th. That's all I put, 10th. We're 10th. We're 10th. What are you gassing for? Like, don't take the piss out of my little vest either, you pussies, yeah? Tobs has already done this backstage about it, my little fucking twig arms there, spaghetti arms and all that, yeah? Like, we're not all big like you, bruv, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got a big heart, bruv. I don't need big arms to match, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah? That's touching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've had 4 hours sleep, so you're lucky I'm fucking here. So all you dickheads in the chat, yeah, hush. You're lucky I'm even here, yeah? And I'm going to say this. I said this backstage. I am never, ever, ever, ever arguing with another person on Twitter. Yeah, ever again.
This is the announcement.
The last 2 people that I've argued with on Twitter that have run their mouth to me, and I've said, "Yo, come on the channel." I was sat outside at 9 a.m. this morning. I've slept on the sofa for 4 hours, mate. I am fucking like, real talk. You're lucky I'm here. Yeah. I'm not even joking. I'm knackered, mate, and I've got an Xbox turning up today, and I don't even know where Amazon are. And it's like, I really want to go back to sleep when I finish this, but I'll probably miss the delivery. But the last 2 people that have run their mouth to me and really run their mouth to me online, and I've said, "Yo, come on the channel," have both been 17 and 18. I'm like, I'm done. I'm done arguing with Twitter. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. And then when they both come on, they both agreed with everything I said. It's like,
you got them
why were
on?
you arguing with me then?
Bro, I told you, bro, delete that app, bro. Because it's every night I go on Twitter, I see you on there. Like, there's bare back and forth. So I'm like, bro, just go to bed, bro. You don't need this. This is a waste of your time. And then when you go
100%.
behind the keyboard, they're like 16 years old. And you know what I mean? Like, this is the most interaction they've got in like a year. Do you know?
Yeah,
like...
mate, they're sitting there with a fucking rock on, bro, because Lee Gunner replied to him.
But you are in form. You are in form. I mean, are you feeling more positive? The Arsenal fans will ask you. Lee, are you at least enjoying this for where it is? Or
no, not really. Like I was fucking bored out of my box watching that shit last night. Let's be real. Yeah, before I eat my sushi, yeah, let me just tell you this, right? I don't give a shit if we go fucking 18 unbeaten. This manager needs to get sacked, and it's only prolonging the pain. And anyone, and I'm going to say this and break it down for all the cheap seats at the back here. Anyone who sits there and says, "You're a fake fan because you want us to lose," yeah? Yeah, let me tell you something, right? Every single person, and I mean every single person that is employed by this football club or is in a position of power at this football club was not here when I started supporting the club. So why am I getting attached to these people? I'm not. So when they fuck off in a couple of years' time and I'm still here, what are you saying then? Oh, you're a fake fan. No, bruv, I'm not a fake fan, yeah? I want this football club to get smashed for the next 5-6 games so he can fuck off. Yeah, until... Jesus Christ. Until then...
That was God reacting.
Yeah, that's my bottle of water. Until then, yeah, it's just irrelevant shit. We ain't going to win the cup. We ain't going to win the league. So it's irrelevant. It's just meaningless. It's like, you know, people sat there last night, and this is why I had that row with that kid online. And people have sat there, and I put a tweet out saying, if Saka, is anyone going to praise Pepe for the assist that got us the opening goal? Oh, no, of course, because it ain't Saka or Smith Rowe. Pepe was shit. But if that was Saka, Smith Rowe, or Odegaard dropping the same performance, fucking hell, they'd have their tissues out, bruv. Like,
so you say there's unequal treatment between the attacking players that you have. But maybe people will say Pepe is older and costs 73 million, and there's no amortization on Smith Rowe, there's no amortization on Saka, so the expectations don't need to be as high because they didn't cost us a shitload. What would you say to that?
Bollocks.
I thought I made a good point.
No, you did make a good point, but
devil's
at the same time, you either hold all the players to the same level, or you don't. That's the only argument people come out with is, yeah, but Pepe's 26. And?
Let me ask Toby that then, because I struggle with that as well. Do you hold all the players to the same level in your team in terms of, is it what you buy is what you expect, in terms of Jose Mourinho's classic quote back when he was at our club is, if you get, cheap eggs or you get class A eggs, I expect class A omelets, so I expect cheaper omelets. It's what you buy is what you pay for. Do you agree with that kind of logic, or is it as soon as you enter Tottenham Football Club, this is the expectation? If you don't perform to this level, you can piss off? Or do you believe
in the difference between the two, to be honest? Because
the difference would be is that if a player that you say Malong Sarr, we signed him for free. He comes into the team yesterday. People are saying he was poor, but I said already I didn't expect him to be anything special. I said he's a profit player. So when he's having a poor performance, my reaction is lower than. Like, especially when he's just coming in for the odd game. If he had to come play consistently, different situation. But I'm just saying, like, if someone comes in that is your expectations are not really that high, are you as angry when they don't perform?
Yeah, of course. Because if they're performing badly, well, I try not to get angry at Spurs anyway. But if they're performing badly, I'll call it out. I'm not just going to say, like, Joe Rodon, for instance. I don't really think much of him. I think he's a bang average player, and I think we shouldn't have signed him. But I don't hate the guy. And when he plays well, I'll give him his props. But if he plays poorly, I'm not just going to say, oh, he only cost 11 million, so it's fine. I'm going to say he's played poorly. I'll say the same for Indom. I'll say the same for Lo Celso. I'll say the same for Ali. I'll even say the same for Harry Kane. If you're playing poorly, you should not be exempt because, you cost X amount. But what I will say is this also. If you've cost an enormous amount and you're playing poorly, the scrutiny is going to be 10 times worse, 100%. 100%.
But if you fancy him, and you want to shag him, it's fine. Right. Smith Rowe. Oh, Smith Rowe, he's so fit. I want to fuck him. Oh, Saka, he missed a penalty in the Euros. Oh, he's got a cute little face. And he jumped on a little blow up thing in a swimming pool. And everyone's like, oh, look at Smith. Fuck off. Yeah. These fucking weirdos, bruv. Yeah. It's all about looks. If they want to shag you, bruv, you're cool. Yeah. Benjamin White. Oh, he's got nice tattoos. Who gives a fuck? Like, it's true, bro. I'm not even lying. Yeah, tell me I'm lying. Yeah, best looking Spaniard we know. He's got nice drip. Yeah, perfect hair. Like, oh, look at the tattoos. Oh my God, we've got the best looking defense in the league. Like, best back four. Like, what is the matter with Arsenal fans, bro? They're fucking weirdos, mate. Yeah, why don't you just say I want to have sex with Ben White? Yeah, and be done with. I want to have sex with Smith. Like, why don't they just say that instead of cussing other players to make their point? Weirdos, bruv. Absolute weirdos. And when you argue with these kids, it turns out they are fucking kids. So it's like, you're 17 and you want to bang a 17-year-old. Like, what's the matter with you?
Where did this come from?
Arsenal fans are fucking the weirdest fan base, bruv. Yeah, everything's about
what is going on Arsenal Twitter that I haven't seen from. Are you starting to rate them out of 10 and whatnot?
I tell you. Everything, the chat, I tell you, I am not kidding you when I say this. Everything is about if they fancy you, you're cool. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Smith Rowe, oh, they want to get stuck up in, bruv, so it's free. It's a free pass. Swear down. It's a free. The chat, I tell you, bruv, they see all of this. Yeah, Saka, he's got a cute little face. Oh, look at Saka's cute little face. Oh, he missed a penalty. This is the only nation on the planet, bruv, that you can miss a penalty and still earn money out of it. Yeah. Oh, here's a pizza advert. Oh no, actually, now you can have the England job, mate. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's clapped. This whole country, like Arsenal fans, the whole thing is clapped, bruv. Yeah, like if they fancy you, yeah, man said Babs is the worst. Yeah, that keys is mad cringe, bruv. You're right, proper cringe. It's like, what are you talking about looks for, bruv? How about talk about performances?
Yeah, he tried to get onto me the other week with the Antonio.
Bruv, that's the only thing he is getting onto because he ain't getting onto a chick, bruv.
Jesus Christ.
And the thing is, I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with Babs, but I was like, bro, if it's tit for tat in terms of who's acted a fool on video, bro, I'll be here for days, like just reading off.
What was this on Twitter that you two was conversing?
Yeah.
I spoke to Babs on FCA. He loves to troll on Twitter. I don't know if he does it anymore, but
I don't have an issue with Babs, by the way.
Yeah, but this is what I find funny. It's like, no, people of that age is what, 21? Yeah, good luck to him. Well done. Yeah, you got 80,000 on Twitter. Whoopie do. How much you got paid for that? Oh, you got paid nothing for that.
They're saying you woke up and chose violence, bro, and you did.
Oh, 100%. I'm tired, bro. Yeah, anyone pisses me off today, I'm just gonna post it. I've had 4 hours sleep, man. I just want to go back to bed and have a little siesta. Do you know what I mean? Before my Xbox turns up. Like, I'm sitting there eating fucking sushi and I can't even eat it, bro. Like, I'm like too tired to eat it.
Marvo says, "Mac, can you stop acting good, G? You done the same crap on Twitter with that Sarri tweet. Listen, I'm gonna bring this to the table right now. I'm bringing this. I wasn't even going to talk about this, but I'm bringing it to the table right now. I did that half trolling, half serious. When Jose Mourinho joined Tottenham, every single like older fan at Chelsea will tell me we hate Tottenham. It's tradition. We sing it before. We sing it over the liquidator that we hate Tottenham. Hating Tottenham has become such tradition at Chelsea. It's almost obsession. And I don't like it. I keep saying we should not be singing over our own intro song when we walk out. We should not be singing as the players walk out that we hate Tottenham. It's weird. It's I don't understand.
And it makes them relevant.
It makes them relevant. You're giving them airtime that they don't need, and it's obsessive. But when I say then that Mauricio Sarri is more of a Chelsea man, a proper Chelsea, than Jose Mourinho, after Jose Mourinho was wearing a Tottenham jacket, a purple jacket, suddenly I'm the devil. I'm just doing what you man tell me. I'm just pushing myself into the narrative that you Chelsea fans, the traditional Chelsea fans, have told me you hate Tottenham. So then surely by default, anybody that plays for Tottenham, you hate them, which is Jose Mourinho.
But it don't work like that, Matisse, because if they fancy him, they're cool, bro. And they fancy Jose.
Play a bit of football. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I love about this debate? Yeah, is that whether I'm saying it just to piss you off or not, you have to deep it, because what did Mauricio Sarri ever do wrong at Chelsea? What did he ever do?
Bro, he was stubbing his fag butts out in the shower, bro. People were getting on with that.
Go 3 times in your face. He didn't come to Stamford Bridge and go, I've won the title here. He didn't come and shush you. He came here with his cigarettes, yeah, and he tried to play beautiful football. And you told his Sarri ball, to fuck off. And then he said, okay, sorry for disappointing you. I'm going to win a trophy with you guys, and I'm going to leave. Okay, you asked me to leave. I'm going to leave.
Man, fully left flippers in the boiler room, bro.
That was so criminal that you guys found that even offensive. It wasn't offensive. I was just going along with what you guys constantly obsess about, which is Tottenham. So really, I'm the biggest yerder here. So I don't really know what's going on. Man, I'm calling him a Sarri section.
They fancy Jose, bro. Why don't they just say they want to shag Jose? Why don't they just say that? That's all it is. It comes down to looks, bro. All of these kids online, they just want to shag the fucking manager, bro. Why don't they just say it? I'd actually rate him if they said that. Yeah, no, I fancy Jose. I want to stick it up. Like, why don't you just say that? Cool, okay, I get it, mate. Sweet. Like, trust me, it's the same in your fan base. Yeah, they just fancy Jose and they didn't fancy Sarri, bro. Yeah, Sarri's breath stinks of cigarettes. Jose's is smelling like roses, bro. They're like, yo.
And by the way, I don't agree with it, because I don't sing "We Hate Tottenham" when the players walk out. That's weird. But for you man them that do,
that is proper weird.
it's weird. But for you man them that do, you can't really disagree with me by default. But anyway, Toby, what percentage of Chelsea fans are virgins? That's an interesting question. Jesus, I wasn't ready for that. I just read it out.
I actually know some cool Chelsea fans, and they've got girlfriends as well. Matisse has got a girlfriend. Otherwise, I'd be suspicious. But I'd say maybe 60%.
60%.
Be careful, mate. They might start fancying you in a minute. Do you know what I mean? maybe put your like vest on, brother, and get your arms out. You know what I'm saying? They'll fucking be all over you, mate. Look at Tobs. Oh, baby, come in. They'll be like, we let him off. He's fit. Like one of them ones.
Jesus Christ.
Right. It's mad.
It's all mad. But yeah, I mean, that's my rant.
Where's Corey, bruv?
Well, I don't know where Corey's gone, bro. This was his day. This was Corey's moment. This was his show.
Antonio.
Bro, listen, like this is meant to be Corey's show. Do you know what I mean? Like this is all Corey. Yeah,
man said 2 minutes and fucking not turned up.
I laid it out on the floor for Corey. I said, listen, bro, I got the clip. I'm coming in on smoke. I'm ready. Like we got everything ready for you, bro. Red carpet, suit, tie, jacket, whatever you need, fam. Come out here and do your. He's not here. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I mean, Toby, how are you feeling after that performance? Let's get into the games, because I mean, I'm going to try and force some positivity out of Lee later. But before I get to that, good luck. How are you feeling?
The same. Really.
Are you? Do you know what? Yeah. How do Tottenham? What's the general consensus with Tottenham fans and Nuno? It's a very weird one because it feels like it's too early to say sack him and Nuno out, but at the same time, it's like, what is the plan here?
A lot of Spurs fans that I spoke to don't like him, and they don't. It's not that they don't like him as a person. They don't think he's a good fit for Spurs. They don't think he should have got the job in the first place. I like him as a person, but I said it on your show. I've said it on all my streams. I don't think he should have got the job. But now you've given him the job. He's doing exactly as I expected him to do, and we're doing exactly as I expected us to do, which is not great. Like, we don't play good football. We don't score enough goals. We don't have good players. Like, we have a poor squad, and we have a manager who is mainly transition focused as far as his Premier League experience is concerned. So I think you have some sections of the fan base. Again, I don't speak for our entire fan base. I'm only going off the fans that I've spoken to. You have some of the fans that I've spoken to, they want him out. Like, they want him out, and I can see why. We've wasted so much time picking the wrong men, and if you know a guy is wrong for you, then what's the delay? But I also see some fans who want to say, like, yeah, you've hired him now, you've made your bed, lie in it, give him the time, give him money, improve this team. Like, you've hired a manager, improve this team before you get rid of him. And then there are some fans who just don't care. Like, they just don't care. I know 2 people who gave up the season ticket this season.
Oh wow!
And most of my friends now is like, when I speak to them, we're just resigned to the Spurs being shit. Like,
Why are you surprised?
That must be such a
your whole lifetime, bruv.
No, it's not surprising. It's not surprising though. It's not a case.
How you lot still pay money to that football club's hilarious.
It's not more a case.
I can't believe he's been fleecing you for 20 years.
It's more the fact that, like, they've gone through all this palaver, all this talk, all this jazz, the new stadium, not spending. We've always been told, oh, it's leading to something, and it's led to nothing.
Mad.
So yeah,
it's mad to follow a football club and, like, not even, some people are not even feeling anything. I can't even imagine, fam. I can't imagine. But listen, the big dog is here. The big dog, yeah? West Ham representative.
Wow.
Listen, I'm going to put him next to you. I'm moving him over there. There we go.
Oh, man's got the proper background.
There's no suit today. He's got the full kit
mate. Mate, I've come home just to have this conversation. Trust me. I'm late and I'm like, get me on there now. Toby's been thinking about it all week. But Antonio, what can we say?
Bro, do your speech, bro. Talk. Do your speech.
No, it's too much. It's too much. I can't deal with it. Now, listen, mate. They came to East London and they got battered. Simple as. Tottenham
call
get
that
battered everywhere
battering?
they go.
You
No,
call that
I'm
battering?
only playing, mate. I'm only playing.
Okay,
It weren't a
okay,
battering.
cool,
You
cool.
know, it's tough for me to try and jump off the deep end and say we battered you. It was a tight game, but Mickey scores against you every single time. You even predicted it months ago, and now it's happened again. So
Man said I
can't
predicted
complain,
it
mate.
months ago. I hate this guy.
They done it. It's happened again. It's
You know what's
happened
better?
again.
You know what's even better? It was Harry Kane at the set piece. It was the boy Harry Kane, one of your own. You just didn't see him coming. Didn't see big Mikel Antonio just dart right in front of him, right down in front of me when Mickey scored, mate. Unbelievable.
Do you know what I need? Yeah, I need this. I need this on the screen. I'm kicking out the irrelevance here. I need these two together. Look.
Come on.
Antonio.
I just needed that moment just to frame it. It looks beautiful.
You know what? Like, I just knew it was going to be him. Like, it was such a tight game as well. Like, in terms of chance creation, it was barely for either side, if I'm perfectly honest.
Yeah.
But the fact it was Mickey as well. I didn't think Mickey had a great game at all, to be honest. But that's what I'm saying. This season, he's a different. Yeah, he can have poor games, but then he can turn up in certain moments. And I thought it was a quality set piece. Like, I know people don't break it down like that, but for me, the run from Rice, run from Souček, getting in beyond Kane. Oh, it's poor defending. But yeah, we're fourth in the league, mate. It's nuts, isn't it? Really, like, to be honest.
Trust the process.
It's a
Yeah,
brilliant
I mean,
process,
I
mate.
was saying to Statman Baines last night on Twitch, I can't believe Jesse Lingard passed up the opportunity to go and join this, because it's such. Your team feels like a proper unit, it feels like a little bit of a family when you see like the behind the scenes. They're all living life, they're loving it. Declan Rice is a bit of a character behind the scenes, but you're also getting results. You're in Europe. Like, it feels like a very good time to play for West Ham. And I know there's the dream of playing with Ronaldo and, do you know what I mean, your boyhood club. And I get it. You want to be the one club man and whatnot. But in terms of your England chances, this was such a great opportunity to go and play for West Ham. And West Ham are not really, I mean, listen, I think they'll probably still be interested. I think his contract's running out at the end of the season. But West Ham don't seem to be the club that will just hang about and wait. They will go and find another target. You've got quite a good record with getting number 10s like Felipe Anderson, whether they work out or not. Like, you do like a number 10.
Are you sure?
I'll put that caveat in there.
Mate, we bought him for 42 mil when we sold him for about 3. I don't know.
Yeah,
if that's quite the one I would've gone with.
Lanzini's another one. Even Payet. Like, you love a number 10. You love it.
Number 10, mate. Yeah. We're playing basically with 3 at the minute. Like, we brought Vlasic in to replace Lingard, really, and he hasn't quite done it yet. I still believe he'll be a top player, and I still think he's got qualities that the other attacking midfielders don't. But I wouldn't write Jesse coming back, to be honest, in January. It's just for us whether we want to pay 10, 15 mil when we feel that he's out of contract in 6 months, or whether we just wait. But I feel that realistically, he must be sitting there going, I fancy a bit of that at West Ham. And to be honest, like, a couple of times this season, we've played with Bowen as false 9. I think Lingard would actually be better there. So there is part of me that thinks Moyes will look at that in January and say, if we can bring him in, a bit more squad depth, keep Bowen on the right-hand side, then we can push on. But it's really impressive. I've got to be honest, 2 months. If we can beat Villa on Sunday, that's 20 points already. We've nearly boxed off the Europa League, not conceded a goal. We've looked solid in each game, to be honest, with almost a completely rotated side. And I feel that, listen, it's too early to say anything really, but if we get that boxed off and we get to December where there's so many fixtures and we can start to rotate and have a little bit of momentum and use Europa League just for purely rotation, we'll see where we lie. Because I'm actually quite surprised that we've been able to maintain this level this season. And particularly on Sunday, we were defensive. Like, we went back to what we were used to, being a counter-attacking side, and we were solid in that sense. We've had 2 games, Everton Spurs, 1-1-0 in both, one from a set piece, and defensively looked pretty solid. So, yeah, this team's going places. Hopefully it continues. I can't complain. I'm going up there tonight against Man City. So maybe
that's what I was going to say, yeah.
But, and look at Tobs. He ain't even interested, bruv. Man's still working out here. Like, it's just like, yeah, it's just all like blah,
he
blah,
can't
blah.
talk about his team. He can't talk about his team.
No. I'm not even doing it to say that West Ham are boring or anything. I just don't care about Spurs. But I'm taking in what Corey's saying. I actually rate West Ham. I think it's painful to say that now. I never used to rate West Ham before, but they're a good side now. They're actually a good side. I can't fight it anymore. I'm waiting for this bubble to burst, and it's not burst. No pun intended. So,
mate, do you know what's funny? Yeah, it's like our fans said, yeah, but we ain't got Europe, so we got 1 game a week. And it's funny because every team that qualified for Europe's above us.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mad substantiation. That's the mad thing though, because when we get Spurs rested, let's not forget 8 players to play us in our cup final, and they still lost 1-0, and they lost to the Chelsea feeder club on Thursday.
So where's your we beat Spurs winners?
I'm buzzing, mate. I was holding it up at the ground.
Okay,
like
cool,
we've done it. I can't believe it. You know what I mean?
And do you know what as well is I was just gonna say you do have Man City tonight. Do you think you guys are capable of pulling off the shock there and trying to win a trophy? Because I think that's the next step, isn't it? Like I know maybe not happy. Oh, he's already shut it down. Because Leicester won the FA Cup. Maybe you guys can
clip it.
We've got a lot of things going on, Tobs. We're in the Europa League. We've got through in the Carabao Cup against United. Like we could realistically get quite far in one of these competitions. But
you're going out tonight.
Oh, maybe, but you never know.
No, I know you're going out tonight.
Oh, all right, okay.
Man City are in a group.
Start clipping it already in case it does happen.
Clip me. Listen, the game is the game. I've been clipped many a time. I don't care.
Clip me. No, to be fair, the one thing about tonight that would make me think I'm not sure we are going to get through. Obviously it's Man City and the strength in depth quality, but now we know that you can use 5 subs, and I'm not convinced Moyes with Villa on Sunday is going to play a full strength team. There's part of me that wants to see Rice out there from the start, Antonio out there from the start, but at the same time, I think he's going to prioritise the Europa League and probably the Prem this season. I can't see him wanting to go far. And to be honest, knowing our luck, we'll probably get Liverpool even if we get through. So
imagine we win the Europa League, though, bro, and getting Champions League.
If we win the Europa League, mate, that man behind me is lifting that Europa League trophy. Like,
mate, he should be in fucking Towie. I've told you this before, bruv. Like, seriously, the guy's 40 years old and he's just should be an extra in Towie, bruv.
Come on, mate. Don't chat to me with El Nene in midfield, mate. We can't go there. Maitland Niles misplacing passes all over the gap. We're not doing it, mate. We're not doing it.
Yusuf was saying, lads, think we Londoners can all agree, unbiased, rational fans, that Ollie needs a lifetime contract for installing the United DNA. Top manager. Don't understand the overreaction, to be honest. Listen,
hey, our fans have gone on like it's mad, yeah, like a street party and all that, yeah. It's the worst Man United team in my lifetime, and they're still above us.
That's what I was about to say, yeah. Like, Man United is still above all of you guys. West Ham, fair enough.
Like, me, mate. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's never really been an issue, but Tottenham
Somebody
and
put
Arsenal.
a table out yesterday, right? Since the start of last season to now in the league, and Arsenal are still 8th. Yeah, Tottenham are 7th, 1 loss less, 1 win more. Right, and Man United have lost 7 games less than Arsenal in the last 47 in the league. We've lost 16. They've lost 9 games, and they were 4th, I think, in that chart. Yeah, and it's like our fans can sit there and banter Man United all they like. As soon as they sack him, we're completely finished because they're going to get a top manager. Yeah, they're just going to hold on to him for a little bit longer because Fergie's a bit of a curse, isn't he? He's like getting stuck in too much. Like, bro, just go and retire, man. Plot up in Monaco and chill. What's his problem?
it's all they know, isn't it? Like, that's the DNA. That's like what they remember as their last successful period. So they're trying to like bring that back. But I think with Fergie, there was too many intangibles. We're not going to go on it for too long, but there's too many intangibles with Fergie that you can't quantify. Do you know what I mean? Like the way that he used to maybe do his halftime team talks, the way that he had his little Fergie time, like all these little factors that he brought to the table. And you know, he didn't even take training. It was his staff. Like this, that you can't really bring. There's no philosophy. There's no Pep model or like, do you know what I mean? Something to pass down. It's like I was wealthy, and then I spent it all, and then you're all broke. Like there's nothing to pass down. There is no will. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to go and make your own damn money. I already made my money. I'm good. So that's just how I see it with Fergie. That's the best analogy I can think of on the spot for Fergie. But when Conte does come in, it will be a problem. And then Newcastle on top of it. So like as Tottenham and Arsenal fans in particular, you guys really got to get your shit together in the next couple of years. Because if Newcastle get it right and they actually bring in a director of football and a competent manager and it all like from top to bottom all makes sense and they really do get the structure correct, that's another team that will leapfrog you in a few years if they spend the money
it don't
wisely.
matter. As long as they fancy Smith Rowe and Saka, mate, we're cool. It don't matter. It don't matter. They just as long as you fancy the players, mate, it's all vibes. It don't matter if you win. Yeah, like as long as your player's playing, you can watch his legs. Like Miguel Aziz. Do you remember that one? Like, oh, he's on that Ronaldo training regime. Yeah. Oh, he's going to break into the first team, mate. He's on loan at Portsmouth. Yeah. Like But yeah, it's cool. Smith Rowe's there. We fancy Smith Rowe. It's cool, bruv. It's all about fancying the player, mate. It don't matter about winning games.
Bloody hell.
It's true. Bro, go and look at
You missed this, Corey,
Twitter.
earlier. I've not seen this yet.
I missed the Arsenal
Twitter,
chat,
but apparently it's like they're taking aesthetics too far.
Oh, bro, it's mad. We've got the best looking back four in the league. Smith Rowe, they fancy. Oh, Ben White's tattoos. Oh my days. Oh, the manager's drip. Oh my God, he's got perfect hair. Who gives a shit, bruv? Like, but that's our fans in a nutshell. If you fancy the player, he's sweet for life. Martin Odegaard, he's just a better looking Ceballos. Yeah, like he is. He's shit. Yeah, like we missed the creative spark from him last night. But it's like, seriously, our fan base is the worst, mate.
But he played well against Villa. Any hope in terms of the tactics against Villa? 4-4-2, Lacazette and Aubameyang out front, pressing from the front, some sort of identity maybe going forward. It looked good against Villa, to be fair. I actually predicted a defeat against Villa. I thought Villa would go there and like it would just be a madness. But to be fair to you, he's actually put in a good performance. Any hope? Any happiness from that?
No, it just belongs to let's be real, right? Every win this geezer gets keeps him in a month longer. True. Right. So when I sit there and say I want us to get spanked, it's because I support Arsenal Football Club, not Mikel Arteta. Yeah, not these players that they all want to get stuck up. Yeah. Like I said backstage, right? None of these players were here. And none of these this manager and coaching staff and owner and all that when I started supporting this football club. So, sorry, mate. Nah, if I want us to lose, cry about it because at the end of the day, it's for the good and great of Arsenal Football Club, the club I started supporting, not these muppets that are here that are all disposable employees. That won't be here in 10 years' time when I still am. So, you know, people don't get like I said, most of these, and I've got to stop arguing with Twitter. Like I said, I was doing a stream at fucking 9 a.m. with this kid, man, and I'm just like, why did I do it? Yeah, I'm knackered, bruv. I've had 4 hours sleep. I'm sitting here fucking trying to eat sushi and it tastes like glue, bruv. Like, honestly.
And you said that once they came off the platform, they started agreeing with you on stream. So.
Yeah, that's what happens all the time. Like the last guy, when we played Tottenham, there was a geezer that was running his mouth to me and he's very vocal to me on Twitter, yeah? And I was like, yeah, cool. The Tottenham game, come on and have your say, mate. Yeah, get your camera on and see what you got to say. But when he came on, he looked about 12. I was like, how old are you? He goes, 18. Like, why am I arguing with these people?
This is what I'm saying. Like,
and then when he came on, when he came on at half time,
if you was to actually, I think going on that platform, like, and I think we spoke about it briefly in the Big Six with the whole thing with Ty, is that when you go on that platform, because people are anonymous, you look at them and you're like, well, I don't really know who this is, so it's easier to argue with them. If everybody was to actually reveal who they are, like, and you was to see the ages, fam, you'd start unfollowing and just stop arguing with half of them because you're like,
when this kid came on at half time in the Spurs game the other day, yeah, he sat there and said, but you force your opinions and agenda on people. I said, I don't ask you to fucking watch it, mate. Yeah, you have to click on YouTube. Like Twitter's slightly different because you can see a tweet and like it's on the timeline. Yeah,
you don't really talk about. Well, do you talk about like your what you want from Arsenal on Twitter?
I tell people all the time, but people have grown up in the last decade of Wenger. Excuse me, last decade of Wenger with his excuses. So it's no coincidence that they want Mikel Arteta in the job because he was the captain that ended the trophy drought. Not that he did fuck all, by the way, right? But he was Wenger's man, and these people fancy Wenger. They started supporting the club because of Wenger. It's not because we were any good. It was, oh, yes, but they were invincible. Oh, Champions League final. Yeah, but you weren't alive to see it, mate. Yeah, and if you was about 4. So it's like, and then they start going, oh, you're negative and you're toxic. No, I hold the club to account. This club smashed the stadium down to be the best in the world, and we're 10th after finishing 8th twice. But I'm negative because I want to hold that club accountable and want to win a league. Yeah? Get out of your mum's box room, man. Seriously, these people are weirdos, bruv. They've got Smith Rowe fucking pictures on their wall and they've got tissue next to their bed, bruv. Like, it's a bit of a mad one. I can't lie.
Someone in the chat was saying happy birthday to Zoom and big up your damn self.
Talk
to me. Do some Zoom report.
Go on, mate. I'm telling you now. Like, honestly, I thought he got man of the match on Sunday. Actually, I thought he was superb. And to be fair, like I think since he's come in and been next to Angelo, which is kind of the first choice centre back pairing, I've been really impressed with him. I think he reads danger very well. He wins pretty much every single aerial duel that he has. Yep. And we've got that balance now. And I love him as a character as well. Like he gets on, you can tell he gets on with the squad and they love him as well. And he's been a top signing. And it was always going to be one of them ones when you're a centre back where it goes under the radar because our defence was pretty good last season. But we've gone up another level with him in. And we haven't even had Soufal. Soufal's been injured for 3 weeks now?
Yes,
Ben Johnson's
of
been
course.
playing at right back. Ben Johnson was...
He had a great season last year, didn't he?
Yeah, and arguably one of the best right backs outside that kind of top 4, top 6 bracket. And then now Ben Johnson comes in. He's 2021, performing brilliantly. Hasn't conceded a goal since he's come in. So we're improving.
Can't cross the ball though.
well, yeah. I'll call it a bit of end product. He does need that. But this is the thing though. Like when you're talking about particularly fullbacks and they're young, a lot of it's a lack of maturity or it's positioning. But like the fundamentals defensively, I think Ben Johnson has spot on. So it adds. Go on.
He was a monster on Sunday, like bruv, like the way he would just shrug Reguilon off the ball. Like there was one time Reguilon tried to go for him, he just moved him out of the way. I thought he held it down on Sunday. I haven't really watched much of him play because I remember you lot had what's his name. He went to Watford a couple a year and a half ago in Gakia, and he actually looked pretty decent as well. So I don't know what it is you lot are doing over there, but it seems like you've got like an okayish conveyor belt for.
Do you know what though? This is actually mad. Our youth team, they battered. I think it was Man United's under 23 6-0 the other day.
6-0.
So so the group and Moyes made a couple of strategic little signings that everyone was a bit like, why have you brought him in? We saw him in pre-season, but now they look like the real deal. So I think it's important. You've got to give a lot of credit to Moyes. You have to, because the lack of structure that this club has. And now what he's implementing, he's got the head of recruitment in from Manchester City. That's important. And I'm sure the Declan Rice thing will rear its ugly head towards the end of the season. So reinvestment possibly in that sense. So the balance is good at the minute. Can't complain, mate. I'm sure one day it'll go downhill and then I'll start moaning. But for now, enjoy it.
I always felt like Kurt Zuma was perfect for you. Like, back four, I mean, you can switch it up, like you say, and play defensive. It's not like all out guns blazing in terms of trying to play tiki-taka out from the back or whatever, in terms of like the centre-backs trying to step forward into midfield with our back three. He's just like a very traditional centre-back. He wins his duels on the ground, aerially, good recovery centre-back, got the pace, knows how to defend. And then obviously he's got some little weaknesses that you have to sort out, but I'm sure Moyes is doing that with the coaching. But in terms of a centre-back in this league, he's always going to, for me, be a very, very good purchase. And I think that's why I was so frustrated when you guys were haggling. Of course, business is business, but I was like, this guy is going to do the business for you. Like, I have no doubts he can definitely play, at that level where you're fighting for Europa League, maybe just on the fringes of Champions League football. So I'm just happy to see him doing well, because he was great for us, did a job. And then as we changed our style over the years and tried to stop going defensive with, the managers of Mourinho and Conte in his last season, we tried to transition over to a, more, playing the ball out the back kind of style, which Chelsea are not really traditionally known for. Then obviously he doesn't fit the plan as much. But yeah, it's brilliant to see him doing well. Declan Rice, look, the saga goes on. It will go on again. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to let you enjoy him for the season.
Player, mate.
But the links, bro. The links, like Manchester United are in for him, it seems. Manchester City, Pep keeps talking about him, whether it's through quotes or whatever, in terms of how much he respects the player, etc. Chelsea have always been linked, etc. Like, it's going to get very difficult to keep this guy. But like you said, if you do get him and reinvest, then, and you plug that hole, and then maybe you can address a few more areas. What other areas in your team are you saying position-wise, if you do take in maybe 60 million, 70 million for Rice, who are you addressing?
Yeah, you'll be lucky.
who you plug? What spots do you plug in?
I think we need a centre forward. We need probably 2 centre forwards, in my opinion. I think I would like to see, and it probably won't happen, but a direct left winger. I like Fornals, but for me, he's more of a 10. I think just in certain games would be good. Cress, long term. Creswell's actually played well quite recently, and his delivery's spot on, but I just think long term, if you're going to play with that back four, you need someone that's probably a little bit more well rounded. But and then Deck, and this is the question mark in terms of, do you go and take that money and reinvest it in multiple positions, or do you spend a considerable amount? Because Declan Rice this season is just a different level, and it's interesting because when Tobs came on, and I know it was only in the Europa League and we were winning 3-0, the drop off was ridiculous, and I'm starting to think, hang on a minute, you don't realise how much Deck dictates play, breaks up play, carries the ball. Can you really replace that with one player? Probably not. So that's a serious question mark. That's why the head of recruitment's got to get it spot on. I'm sure there'll be a player out there that you can get in a kind of similar mold to develop and improve, but to replace him, it can't happen. It's too good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, talk about replacing players that are too good. I mean, Harry Kane, Toby, are you feeling in terms of, are you ready to take the 100 million if it was to come back? I mean, if he keeps playing like this, Is your valuation of Harry Kane going to drop to what everybody was talking about over the summer, or
Of course,
or
his valuation drop. Of course, his valuation will drop if he continues to play like this. His stock is not going to be. His stock was high when we were saying 150 million. Now, if he plays like this all season, then of course, yeah, his value will dip. But I'm still retaining hope that he's not going to play like this all season. I still think there is still a lot of football left for this guy to turn his form around. But yeah, it's just one step forward Newcastle against Bums, and then 2 steps back. It's just jarring. He only had 1 attempt in 90 minutes, and that says a lot about him, but that also says a lot about the pathetic team that we have, that we can't even create openings. We can't. It's ridiculous. West Ham had double our attempts at goal, and we genuinely struggle against sides who literally sit back and put men behind the ball. So the Kane issue is the Kane issue. Yeah, it's worrying, and he's played shit for most of the season, bar maybe 1 game, but I still have faith that he'll turn it around.
Is there a world in which you could just go with Son up front and replace, maybe get a winger or because you are lacking that creative? I think we've seen it on Twitter. We spoke about it briefly about Eriksen. You've never really replaced him. Is there a situation where you know that really replacing Kane outright is not really possible? Every time Son kind of has to fill in for Kane, it seems to be good from what I've seen in terms of taking on the responsibility, putting the ball in the back of the net. He's a great shooter of the ball. He's probably up there with Kane in terms of finishing in this league. You know, you put them two right at the highest point. Especially with both feet. Is there a world in which actually you don't need to maybe go and get a Kane or a direct Kane replacement? You just go and get a proper winger? You've been crying out for wingers for a long time in terms of like actual top wingers, not Lucas, not Lamella, not, you know, Bergwijn, like proper top wingers, and then a creative midfielder and go down that route.
No, there is no world where we can do that and put Son up top. That would be madness for me. It would make no sense. Son, fair enough, he has filled in for Kane when Kane's been injured and he's deputized, but Son can only play that number 9 position when we're playing a particular way. If we're playing in transition, yeah, Son can have that when he's not going to be touch tight to a centre back. But when we are up against a side like West Ham, where they can play the ball about, but defensively they retain their organisation and don't really give us that space in behind that we're looking for outside of transitions, Son will struggle. He can't hold up the ball and he can't bring others into play with anywhere near the quality of Harry Kane. It's not to say that his link up is bad. I think he's a good link up player, but he just isn't a striker. And for us, now, if we were to drop Harry Kane, who else are we going to bring in? What, we're going to play Bergwijn on the left? Mr. 0 goals and assists in like 50 a gazillion appearances. Is that what we're going to do? Is that our solution? No, it's not.
He didn't look bad in Holland, man. But these brothers that come from Holland, man, it's like, I'm not gonna lie, that's a little bit of fugazi. We might have to investigate this country. Everybody talks about the Bundesliga and shit like that. Like, we need to start having words about Holland.
Bro,
because
Eredivisie is us. Let's be real. The league is us, but they do produce some good players. And I thought Bergwijn was one of them, but evidently he isn't. But yeah, no. This world where Son plays up top, I can never see it working for the whole season at Spurs, unless the winger we were to sign would be really, really certain and we play a completely different way. I would furthermore as well, you'd be losing like 30 plus goals in all competitions with Kane.
But if you do get those wingers and a creative midfielder, you could maybe go more into a team.
But how many
relying on one individual?
How many would you get though?
I think you need 2 wingers.
There's no way on earth we sell someone like Harry Kane. We don't bring in a striker. It's impossible. We only have one first choice striker now. It shouldn't even be discussed that like Spurs can do this without a striker. But
I'm thinking more like not even maybe not a quote unquote striker, but more like a fluid front three kind of, you know, maybe like a Firmino type mold, not like a striker, like maybe like a false 9 or
Firmino
you go down a different route.
Firmino at Spurs, he still wouldn't score enough. And I like. Listen, we don't
No,
need to get.
no, wait.
But Son
Go
is
down that
a
route
goal.
again.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Like, Son is a goal scoring winger. Like, you could maybe get another goal scoring winger, and then you could potentially go down a different route. I'm saying, like, to replace
Brother.
Harry Kane's goals, like the level of striker in the market. You're talking about Lewandowski. You're talking
No,
about.
I'm not, brother. We need a striker. Anyone
You
we
can't
get
afford.
from
You
Harry
can't. You don't have the facilities for these man, big man.
Brother, anyone we get from Harry Kane is going to be a step down. I think any logical Spurs fan accepts that. Yeah, but furthermore, we need a striker who can bag goals. He may not be as good as Harry Kane, but we need a striker who can bag goals. Hell, we need a striker in addition to Harry Kane right now. We need a striker in addition to Harry Kane right now. We only have one outfield striker. How many clubs in the Big Six have one outfield striker? How many?
Us.
West Ham.
I meant the Big Six.
Nah,
not the
nah,
Tories.
No, they're bigger than us, man. They're bigger than us right now. We can't even mock them.
It's embarrassing. Southampton have 2 strikers. Yeah. Brighton have two free strikers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both
West
shit.
Ham,
Though, let's be real.
West Ham only have 1 striker, and what was on Corey's ask for priorities that they need filling? A striker. So for me, we already need a striker now in addition to Harry Kane. Selling Harry Kane and then thinking, oh, you're not going to bring in a striker is out of the question. We have to bring in a number 9s.
Don't worry, mate. Daniel Levy's at the wheel, mate. You're
We
fine.
have to, bro. Like,
Fine. He's been fleecing you lot for 20 years. I told you this earlier.
Daniel Levy's a bald fraud, and I'm bald as well. Yeah.
Oh, are you Daniel Levy out? I didn't actually
Yeah,
get
yeah,
the
I'm-
update from the
yeah,
process.
yeah,
I can't remember.
Levy's been the biggest problem at that club for 2 decades, mate. Yeah,
Nail in
he
the
is
coffin
a
was-
fraudulent bastard, mate. Yeah, fleecing people. Oh, yeah, and because they get big money for the odd player here and there, their fans get all gassed like, "Oh, yes, he's so shrewd in the transfer market." Is he
He's
fun?
shrewd, but he's
This
a
is the
fool as
same
well.
guy who spunked £100 million bail money on a load of crap. About
Tammy was
shrewd.
available. Tammy was available.
Yeah, Tammy was
thing is-
available.
I don't
No,
actually
thank you.
think. I don't actually think Tottenham's biggest problem is like if you actually look at their front 4, right? So before the game, I was thinking Kane, Son, Lucas Moura, and Ndombele, right? That's a pretty decent front 4. Now, if Nuno was able to play more creatively, then maybe they would be getting a little bit more out of him. I don't think he's got it in him. I don't think he's not that type of manager, and so they
Thank
can't.
you. I'm glad you said it, Corey. I'm glad you
There you
said
go.
it.
It's mad to see how far Lucas Moura has fallen. Like,
But
he
again-
was coming over at the same time as, I think,
It was
Neymar.
I'll tell you what, it was very easy to play against Spurs because we knew exactly what they were going to do. They're going to get Reguilon down that left. As long as we sat deep, 4-4-2, kept the spaces so close between the midfield and defence, Ndombele's not going to get the ball. They're not going to hurt us. The only time Spurs got in beyond us was when we was out of shape. And so when you're a team like that, it becomes difficult because teams will just say, sit deep, frustrate them, hit them on the counter, or get a good set piece, and they're done for. It all comes down to Nuno. Like, I think the Spurs squad does need a little bit of redevelopment, no lie.
A little bit of redevelopment is the understatement of the year.
Well, look,
the squad is poor. It
I know,
needs
but-
major surgery. But I do agree with you. We're not good. We're a poor side right now, and I feel like the way he sets us up, it makes us look even worse.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Leave Nuno
Albert scored
alone, man.
40 goals in Eredivisie and flopped at Borough. That's taking it way back, way back. But I hear it. Do you know what? We're gonna play a game for the last part of the show. I'm gonna say, take a player that played for your club in the last decade that you could pick to bring into your team right now to propel them up the league.
And it's gonna get
Who
issues.
would you pick?
I've
And
got one.
We've all had
Straight
some
up.
pretty damn good players at our club, so this is not going to be easy. I'm not going to take it back far enough, Corey, for you to do a Tevez and Mascherano bullshit.
That's fine. I've got one, mate. We got some good players. Don't worry.
Because I know those two were madness. But yeah, whoever's got their guy, I'm springing this up on you like very. I'm probably gonna go first just because it's fair. Chat, you let me know as well. Put it in the chat who you guys would take. Any player that played for your club, obviously a London club, in the last decade that you could bring back at their peak to help you this season, who would you take? And then we can talk about those players, because then we can talk about something glowingly, because I'm sitting with a bunch of L merchants right now, apart from Corey.
Oh, listen, we won as well. Let's not get it twisted.
You did
The
win,
only-
but
the
you
only
won't
one-
talk about
the
it in
only
a
one
good
who's
way.
got an L this week is him.
So it's an L.
You did win, but for you it's an L because you know the bigger picture is still shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, technically
I tried to get
every
you.
win's a loss.
Yeah, I tried to get you, but you didn't bite. To be fair, you're sticking to the principles, which I love. So I tried my best. Let's see. So let's see what I mean. If any of you guys have got one, go for it. I'm gonna see what the
Sanchez,
chat's saying
Alexis
as well.
Sanchez, bruv. Oh my days, what a footballer! Yeah,
Mm.
that hat trick he scored against West Ham, you were probably there,
Oh,
Corey. Yeah. When he went to dummy the ball, like went to kick it, but stepped over and the keeper's on his ass and he just dinked him. It was like, you're taking the piss. Like that guy, honestly, the amount of goals I see that guy score live at the Emirates from just impossible angles was just piss take. Like, or he'd whip one, and because I was lower behind the goal in North Bank, it was like before it's even gone in, you can see it's going in. Like you know this. You guys go to games and that, yeah. You can see the balls going in before it's even.
I think I remember exactly the goal you're talking about as well. Just like some really weird acute
against
angle.
Cologne.
Yeah,
against Cologne. Like yeah, that game was funny because their fans stormed our stadium. There was like 30,000 of the fuckers outside kicking off, and it was like we were in the ground, and we were like, why is no one in the ground? Yeah, because we parked in the car park downstairs, so we just got the lift up, and everyone's like, "How did you two get in?" It was like, "We parked downstairs, mate." Yeah, then they nudged the game back an hour. Yeah, that was mental. That was the best atmosphere that Emirates has ever had. But yeah, Sanchez, man, what a footballer! Absolutely loved him, mate. Yeah, but our fans, this is how our fans go on. Oh, but he gives the ball away. He gave it away 35 times in a game. Yeah, guess what? Who gives a fuck?
But do you know what? Sanchez worked his arse off as well. Like off the ball, man. He pressed. On the ball, he was intense. Like he took players out of the game. He dribbled past players. He finished. Do you know what I mean? Like for me, in terms of like a manager's dream, like from the wide position, especially in the modern game, he had everything because he had end product and he worked his arse off as well. And he led by example because he was a talisman. Like that's a great shout to be honest.
Mate,
like,
all different types
incredible.
of goals as well. I remember his goal against PSG. It was just a half. I think it was a full volley in the box. Bosh, straight in the back of the net in Paris. Like when we played Tottenham at White Hart Lane, and we had a player sent off. I can't remember. I think it might have been Coughlin got sent off. I can't remember. And he got us a draw. And it was like we didn't deserve nothing out of that game. And he single-handedly nabbed us a draw. And when he walked off the pitch, he took his gloves off, threw them up in the air. And our fans going, "Oh, look at him. He's petulant. He's petulant." It's like, he's just got us a fucking draw, mate. Yeah? We're 10 men. Like, come on. Yeah, but our fans, they didn't fancy him, mate. So it don't matter, does it? They
good-looking chap. I mean, for me, this is so difficult, man, because for me, it's got to be a creator. It's got to be a creator because that's what we're lacking right now, just that extra bit of creativity. It's between Fabregas and Hazard.
You wanker.
I know I'm being a dickhead by bringing Fabregas into this, but Fabregas was an unbelievable passer of the ball. Juan Mata's another shout. It's definitely like it's got to be one of them three because of the creativity. Do you know what? I think I'm actually going to go Juan Mata because I was going to go Hazard, but I look at the way the team is now, and I think I do want some people that are like, just in terms of influencing the rest of the group, I do want players that are like, because Hazard plays like he's a kid in a cage. Like he plays free spirit and he just enjoys it. And that's fine for him. But in terms of the rest of the team, I also just want, like you said, that Alexis Sanchez winning mentality. So I'm trying to put it into one in terms of what goes with the team. Fabregas was great for us, but there was a few times I'd say if you was playing him in that pivot that defensively he would get overrun and he would be probably worse than Jorginho, but people don't want to talk about it because Fabregas, like he's a legend of the game, which is fair enough. But in terms of just defensively playing that pivot, I look at Fabregas and I think he would get exposed defensively. So I'm gonna go Juan Mata because I think Mata just had Juan Mata like, and I am trying to be different because you guys are going Hazard, so I'm just gonna be different. Fair enough. Like I think Hazard is too obvious for me. I want to go Juan Mata because he brought goals. He was creative. He was consistent, and like coming in off that right hand side, he was just deadly. Do you know what I mean? He could score free kicks. He took great corners. So many assists, so many goals. Player of the year, 2 years running. He was unbelievable. And because he doesn't get the credit that he deserves, and people don't talk about him often enough, especially just in general, because of obviously Man United now he's dipped. I'm gonna go with Hazard, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna go with Mata. But Hazard was the obvious option. I'm gonna go with Mata just to be different from everybody on in the chat. Corey, what about yourself, bro? How you feeling?
You know who it is. It's Dimitri Payet, mate. Get him back in that team in his prime. I saw him the other day for Marseille. Actually,
He's quality, man.
Honestly, mate, what a player! Best player I've ever seen at West Ham. He's just unbelievable. From the minute he turned up, the things that he could do, the players that he could beat, the level that he was performing at. I actually think if you put him back in this side at number 10, set piece quality, carries the ball very well, creative, perfect, absolutely perfect. So I think it's a no-brainer, really. I've got to be honest. I'm clutching at straws to get someone else in there, but Dimmy's the guy that Dimmy was at such a level that everyone A still talking about him, and B he was up there. He was on a Ballon d'Or nomination list. He obviously performed in Euro 2016 as well. Dug France out of a few holes. So it's a shame, really, because if you actually look at his talent, he should have played for a massive club. He was that good. The fact we bought him for
played for Marseille.
Yeah, all right, mate. A bigger club, not quite Arsenal, but I just think he should have played at a top level in Champions League regularly. But I think it's just him, innit? Look at the way he left West Ham.
That's the problem.
Look at the way he left West Ham in the end. Look at his weight. He's a big geezer, but he's just incredibly talented on the ball. So yeah, no brainer for me, mate.
Yeah, mate. That's the problem with him. It's like he's got all the talent, but his attitude stinks. Like, if you don't fancy it, he's down in tools and he'll just fucking start eating burgers.
This isn't real Turkish, by the way.
No, it's not, yeah. There's no way it
is. This nerd, bruv. Like, why am I still here, mate?
Bloody hell. No, Tevez wasn't the last 10 years, brother. That's why he's not in there.
We all know who Toby's going to pick as well, innit? We know who Tobes are going to pick, yeah? He's going to pick Gareth Bale.
No, I'm not going to pick Bale.
See,
really?
It's not being. I like it. Don't be obvious with it. Give us someone. Give us someone else.
I'll pick Luka Modric.
Luka Modric, yeah.
Playing midfield by himself, man.
Can we go back that far?
Of course we can. It's 10 years.
10 years, yeah. He played, 10 years, yeah. He was there.
Yeah, I'll go Modric, man.
Modric was ridiculous. Modric
player. Modric, Bale, Ericsson is one of those three.
Yeah. I had 3 to pick from as well, but again, I just wanted to be a little bit off the cuff there with it. But I think Modric, I remember when Chelsea were trying to get Modric was that season, he was blitzing it. Like, you could just tell he was going to be a top midfielder, but obviously Daniel Levy was never going to allow us to bring him in. But I still think about that time, how close we were to getting Modric. It just pisses me off. So close. Like, he wanted to come. Yeah, he's going to be hated by Tottenham fans if he makes the move, but he would have been brilliant for us. It pisses me off. It's up there with, like, not getting Gerrard. Like, when we thought we was going to potentially get him because of the transfer request as well. We went for Rooney. Like, we was going for everybody's captains. Do you know what I mean? We were going mad.
That's when you had, what's his name from United in charge, wasn't it? Kenyon, Peter Kenyon.
Yeah.
That's when he was your top boy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm just gonna go and piss off Liverpool and go for Gerrard. It's like next thing Gerrard's getting death threats.
It almost worked. Yeah. I think if Liverpool fans didn't get so toxic, it might have actually worked.
I think he would have got him if they hadn't camped outside his house, mate. I think he would have had him.
Can you imagine a midfield of like Lampard and Gerrard never really worked for England because they never went with the 3-man midfield. But can you imagine Modric and because Lampard and Gerrard are kind of the same player, but Modric and Lampard ahead of like a DM, fuck, that would have been insane. That would have been insane. Dembele's a shout. Yeah, I've always said Dembele.
He was a good player.
I feel like Dembele was very underrated when he was here, man. Now you look back on it, he was bloody. Like he is Mateo Kovacic, innit? But with a shot as well. But people don't really like. Back then, he wasn't considered world class, was he, Toby? I don't think he was he?
I didn't even consider him world class. I don't think he. I think there was a season. I'm not gonna lie. There was probably like a year, like a 2-year period where Dembele was like an unbelievable midfielder for us. Like he was elite. But I just hesitated to call him world class because I felt like his skill set as a midfielder. There were midfielders who had greater skill sets, but I will go on record saying this as well. I think from probably 2015 to 2017, I think only N'Golo Kante can say like pound for pound that he was a better like midfielder than Moussa Dembele. Like he was quality in those 2 seasons, and even the season afterwards, the second half especially. Like he was dominant, man. really, really good player. Like, and he's a player. Admittedly, I'll say, like, I don't think I give him enough credit for the impact he had on our team. But it was major, man. It was major.
I think a player like him, they often go underappreciated because like they don't get a high tally of goals and assists. So it's like, oh, what are you really bringing to the table in midfield? And you wouldn't really call Dembele like a sitting midfielder. Like he was a bit of both in terms of he's gonna progress the ball, he's gonna dribble past players, take players out of the game. And I think now you're starting to see a lot of dribblers. Some of the best dribblers are actually in centre midfield now. Like I've seen Mateo Kovacic carry the ball past more players than I've seen most of our wingers do over the last season, and I've seen him do it more probably.
Even the 1v1 demon.
Just for that, I'm taking it off a happy point, yeah, because my 1v1 demon's actually been performing, but then he was back at right wing back there last night, and it pissed me off.
Yeah, I see it.
Bro, I was absolutely fuming when I seen it, but then I see that many injuries, and I was like, all right, fine, we got injuries, I'm gonna let it go. Santi Cazorla, absolute gem of a player, best since Cess. That's another belter. Both footed, like that's probably as dual footed as you're ever going to get. This man would just choose what foot he want to take set pieces with. It was ridiculous.
Literally he's basically the Ronnie O'Sullivan of football, bro. It's like if I want to play left-handed today, I'm playing left-handed.
Yeah. Like actually a freak, like the way that he was moving. Before we wrap up, I just want to go through some of the fixtures that are coming up this weekend. There's a big one, Lee. 12:30 kickoff, Leicester away. Shit, it's a tough game. Are you confident going into that? I think that will probably be the best result out of this run that you're on if you was to pick up 3 points there. Because, like I said, Tottenham's always a given, but if you win at Leicester, that's more of like a statement kind of thing.
We're not winning.
You're not winning.
Nah. Mate, our fans were a lot of our fans have been on my case because I wanted Maddison. I didn't want Gibraltar guard, and yeah, they've all gone quiet since Maddison started picking up form and scoring and getting back in the game. So it's going to be hilarious when he scores the winner at the weekend, isn't it? Yeah, because then I'm going to go and find all of their tweets. Yeah.
So you said you're coming off Twitter.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah, I've got to stop arguing with teenagers, man. I'm a fucking old man, like. But no, I genuinely don't think we'll beat Leicester. I think they're in good form at the minute. They've got a game tonight. I can't remember who they're playing, but they've got a game tonight. But I don't think we'll beat them. I think, like, yeah, we played great against Villa, but like Villa was shit. I think that was a bit of us being great and then being poor. But they weren't great in the game before that when they lost to Wolves 2-0 up. So it's like, I don't know, man. Leicester have got a couple of strikers that I worry about. And Ben White went off yesterday. I don't know if he's injured, but he looked injured. So he was sat on the floor with a resigned look on his face. So I was like, okay. And then the English Cafu came on, and inside 24 seconds, Bosch 1-0. So we'll probably have Chambers at centre back. And yeah, I ain't really feeling that against Patson Daka or whatever his name is. I'm tired, man. Give me a pass, man. And I really want to go back to bed here, but I'm looking at my Xbox delivery, yeah, and it's like 5 stops away. So it's like it's going to be here within an hour, man. So I can't even go back to bed. Like, but no, Vardy always does the business against us. Daka, I think his name is, isn't it? Daka.
Daka, yeah.
Yeah, he bagged 4 the other day. He's a good player, man. He's a very good player. And then they've got Maddison. They've got decent wing backs or fullbacks. They've got a good team, and their manager's not bad, is he? So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking 5-0, please.
Really?
5-0. Give him a spanking, bro. Pull his pants down, slap him. Yeah, and maybe our fans will come back in the room.
I should have asked you what you think of the Man City Palace game with that comment. Mahrez hat-trick potentially.
Well, listen, Mahrez is their top scorer in all competitions this season. So when all these people want to get onto me about Mahrez, yeah, mate, he's got more goals than any of them City players combined, mate.
Still saying he's better than Neymar?
Yeah, come on, brother. Yeah, all day long. Yeah. Neymar would never have won the Premier League with Leicester, mate, because he's a greedy bastard and he wouldn't have given the ball to Vardy as often as Mahrez did. But Mahrez would have won the league at Barca, so it's all cool, isn't it?
Shit. All right, fair enough. Alex Song is an
unsung people hero. That get triggered by this, by the way.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's actually probably fair enough. I'm not gonna lie. Alex Song is an unsung hero. He used to link up nicely with Van Persie.
Best holding midfielder since the best. I'm actually trying to think.
Wow.
Yeah, Son was good, man. He was good.
He was quality for us.
Over the top. And then he played for you. Like,
Yeah, mate, he was blinding. Like it was a shame that I think we had some mad clause in his contract where if he played 15 games, we'd have to pay him a bit more money. So he never played for us when he got back the second time round. But he was unreal, mate. Like and for Arsenal as well. Like that season with Van Persie, what that guy was talking about, he was class, mate. Proper midfielder.
Literally every goal Van Persie scored that season, I just remember
him clipping it
and Van Persie volley.
First time volley,
the piss. It was such a sick little fucking move every time.
Yeah, the closest we came to that was Fabregas and Costa. Like I love a good partnership like that from midfield. It's something that we haven't had since then. It's brilliant when you see it in full flow. But yeah, Alex Song is definitely underrated. Diaby, if he didn't have his injuries, it would have been incredible to see what he would have became as well. You've got Arsenal were always good with midfielders. Like you always had a lot of talented midfielders: Wilshere, Ramsey, Cazorla, Rosicky, Diaby, Song, Fleb, like so many midfielders. If anything, your team just had too many midfielders at one point. You just had loads. That's
the only thing I give Wenger credit for. Even when we were shit, we still played good football. Yeah. Now it's like watching fucking paint dry. Like honestly, it is. That game last night, it was the longest 90 minutes of my life.
Chelsea have Newcastle next. I tried to refrain from talking about Chelsea too much on this show because I talk about Chelsea all the time. But our record at Newcastle is pretty poor. It's not a ground that we enjoy going to. So I'm hoping because they're still shit and they don't have a new manager yet, that we'll be able to take that win and keep it moving. But if Newcastle had their new manager in, I'd actually be scared because just new manager bounce and our record there shocking. Corey, you got Villa away on a Sunday. That's a pretty difficult game as well, isn't it? I mean,
you think?
Do you know what? I think Villa were very difficult to read because 1 minute I'm saying here that they're a really good team. They've replaced Grealish really well. We struggled against them 2 times we played them in terms of like the first half, even though we won 3-0, the first half was really difficult. They've got Ings and Watkins that can press from the front. But then they're dropping in like results that I'm not expecting, and they're putting in performances that I thought they would do better. So I don't know how to read them, to be honest. They're a bit weird.
I thought they were woeful against Arsenal. And if you actually look at their record recently, it was like they've lost about 5 games. And I know what you're saying because you're talking about that first half against Chelsea. I just think it suits us. Away at Villa Park, we'll go counter-attack again. We're not going to play out from the back. As long as we keep it tight, exactly what we've done in the last 2 games, I can't see a reason why West Ham can't really hurt them. We have to. The only thing is with the counter-attacks, we've gone between at times wanting to be more possession-based to playing like that. We've got to be better in terms of those transitions, keeping the ball. That's a big thing. But I look at them defensively. I look at them in wide areas. I think they played wing-backs against Arsenal. They were nowhere to be seen, particularly when they were getting in shape. So if we hit them on the counter with Jarrod Bowen, Antonio, Ben Rama, and we're up for it, I think we can deal with it. It's just a bit of for us, it's kind of, Moyes wants to go in a certain direction. He wants us to play better football, fine. But it's about picking the moments. And a couple of times this season, we've gone away to Leeds and we've been too naive. So don't go to Villa and think, hang on a minute, we can play them off the park. We can play out from the back. Because then you are talking about Watkins' press, Ings' movement. Can we deal with it? As good as Angelo and Zuma have been. So, but honestly, I think we can get the win there, to be honest. If we play the right game plan and we're not too over the top, we should be all right. I'm not really too fast.
They have had 3 defeats in their last 3 games, but then
the only one that would worry me is Leon Bailey. If Leon Bailey tries to play up against Creswell and it's 1v1, then we've got a problem.
He played well when he came on against us. It was like, why didn't you start him? Like Ollie Watkins and Danny Ings did nothing, but he was good when he came on.
Buendia was awful, by the way, against Arsenal. Like
so I did tell all these little hipsters that they fancied him, and he had a nice funky name, didn't he?
He played
He's letting it sit down. He's been poor.
He played one decent pass, and other than that, I saw him give the ball away about 5-6
times. Our fans were twerking for him all summer until Gibraltar Guard came back, and then it was like, oh, Gibraltar Guard's better looking, so yeah, we'll fancy him more. Like, all summer they were banging on about this Buendia guy. I was like, he's crap. Yeah, but he had this amount of created chances. Yeah, okay. How many were from open play? Yeah, not many. Yeah, most of them were free kicks and corners. So, like, when people see these created chances stats, it's like, okay, cool. Now give me open play created chances. Yeah, now give me through balls. Now give me like big chances on a plate. And his stats were not all that. So he was shocking. But yeah, their best player was Leon Bailey, and he came on at half time.
One thing about Villa as well, by the way, set pieces. You look at them against Wolves; they were awful. They conceded 3. Now you look how strong we've been recently. That's something Moyes will 100%. And it shouldn't even really be that you can play a back 3 and look like exposed, and even from set pieces. So there are a lot of opportunities here for West Ham to get the win. And it's important that we do. Next month, I've touched on Europa League. We've got Liverpool early doors at home, Man City. Those are real tough games. So I think we have to go and win.
Go there and win. Big statement. Newcastle are a bigger club than Spuds, based on trophies, and now with money is over for Levy and
That's
Co.
not even true.
That's the comment there.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. I don't like defending this team now because they're not in a good state. But that's just stupidity, man. I don't know.
Toby's not having any of it, fam.
Bro,
But that segue is.
How many times they've been relegated? They've been relegated.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, a lot.
They've been relegated like 3 times in the past, like 10 years, 15 years.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
know?
That wasn't the argument he said on trophies.
Yeah, and they've not won a trophy in like 26 years.
No, that's not what he was saying. He was saying that they've won more total trophies than Tottenham.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think, or you don't know?
I don't know right now.
He's hoping not.
Let's Google it.
Lee's applying pressure, fam. He loves a bit of Spurs.
Come on, man. I've got the shades on. I'm trying to see the
slander,
vision.
bro.
You know what
Look,
I'm
he's got the
saying?
shades on and everything out in the sun. Loves a bit of Spurs slander. He does.
Yeah.
It's only because it winds him up.
Oh
It's so
shit!
easy
He's
to
told you
trigger.
to Google it, fam. He's told you go Google that shit, bro.
He's done his research.
Oh no!
When man comes
You know
to
when
the
someone
right,
says Google it, bro, you know
Yeah,
they've,
you know
they've
you've
done
done
their
that, yeah.
research.
He's
Fam.
right. They've won-
He's not coming here with bullshit.
English clubs with the most trophies was 6th. Was 6th with 26. Newcastle are 9th with 14. He's lying, bro.
Is he lying?
Of course he's lying.
So why would he say that?
He's
to trigger him.
How many league
Why would
titles
he
have you-
do? Why would he
how
come
many
here and say
league
Google
titles have
it?
you both won?
Why would he say Google it with a thumbs up, fam?
I think we've won more. I think we've won
confident.
more league titles than them. Newcastle don't listen. Newcastle are like they're a historic club, and I like the city. I like the club when they're not playing like a sack of shit. But I think there's this false narrative that they're this really, really successful side. They're not. If you said that about Everton,
They're only big in Newcastle. Let's be real with this, yeah. They're only big in Newcastle, and they're going to find out the hard way, yeah, because they think that now they've got these Saudi owners, they're just going to dominate. They're not. Yeah, it's going to take them years and years and years to get up there, right? Because nobody wants to go and live 4 hours away or 5-hour drive away from London. Let's be real. And Newcastle is a good city. I do like Newcastle. I like their fans. I like the stadium and all of that, yeah. But it's not going to be easy for them to go and attract big players because it's in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, let's be real, it is. Why would you want to live in Newcastle if you can live in London?
Money talks.
Well, yeah, it does, but at the same time, it's still 3 hours away from Manchester.
people in the comments saying, "Why are you adding community shields?" I don't even know what trophies make up this tally. I'm looking at the numbers. It's ridiculous.
It sounds like when I'm debating Arsenal fans. Why are you adding community shields for, big man?
Big man team. Like, stop talking about Newcastle like they're Aston Villa. Aston Villa have won a Champions League. Stop talking about
the year I was born.
Like they're Everton. Everton have won league titles, bro. Newcastle are not that big. They're not. Yeah,
they're only big in Newcastle. Respectfully, yeah, and I don't say that often because normally I'm unrespectful, yeah, or disrespectful, should I say? But yeah, they're only big in Newcastle. You don't go abroad and see people walking around with Newcastle shirts on. Yeah, you even see Leeds United shirts abroad. Like, everywhere you go, you see a Leeds United shirt. Like, you don't see Tottenham or Newcastle.
He said it's a 35-minute flight.
As I said, I do like them. They've got some history.
I like it.
They got Alan Shearer. They got Sir Bobby. Like, they've got
Kevin Keegan. They had Asprilla.
They've got some stuff about them. But like, if you're gonna send a super chat, just let it be accurate. Do you get what I'm saying? man wasted money to lie. Don't be like that.
It's not lying though.
Listen, if you keep putting in
I mean,
super chats,
lying.
I'll be able to afford skullfuggery one day for this show. That would be serious levels.
I kind of get his point though. Like, even though the trophy thing may be wrong, yeah, it's true. Like, Tottenham and Newcastle are kind of the same thing. Like, they don't win anything.
That's why I didn't know, because they both don't win a lot of trophies.
Team,
so how am I meant to separate the shit from the shit?
Like, Jose was bigger than your whole club, mate. Wind your neck.
Yeah, I'm not disputing that. Jose is bigger than our club. Jose's won more trophies than our club. Yeah.
The fact that you're saying that so openly,
I'm telling you that Newcastle are not on an equal footing with Spurs. As bad as we are, they're not. They're a championship side with maybe 3 or 4 Premier League level players.
So Steve Bruce was overachieving then?
No, Steve Bruce is dead. He spent 100 million. He spent like 100 million. Steve Bruce is dead.
160 mil he spent.
Yeah.
But you know what? He spent all that money, and I'm wondering what did he spend it on, because their team looks awful.
Well, they paid 40 million for Joel Linton. That's a quarter of the money he spent.
Like,
They sold Iosi Perez for like, I think it was like nearly 40 mil and brought Joe Linton in instead. That's mad.
Yeah.
Jamal Lewis don't get a game.
Joe Linton was a quarter of their money that he spent. He spent 160 mil, right? And this is why when he come out and started crying the other day, oh, they called me a fat cabbage head. Yeah, bro, you can deposit £8 million into my bank and call me whatever you want. Like, real talk. Like, 160 million pounds, and he's got him in relegation. Like, come on, seriously, mate. Like, they paid 25 million for Joe Willock.
I just don't know what they spent it on. They're saying this brother here, I've never even heard of him, bro. Who's this?
Almiron, no, Almiron's a good player.
Come on, bro.
Almiron's a good player, but yeah, they've done 40 on Joel Linton. Yeah, that guy's got to be on 100 grand a week. What's the incentive for him to actually want to achieve anything? He's strolling around Newcastle on 100 grand a week. Like, seriously, like, what's the incentive for him? There's no incentive. And I said this on a stream yesterday. There's only about 7 or 8 clubs in the world that actually want to win. So what's the incentive for the rest of these players? You know, that's why I rate people like Messi and Ronaldo and players like that, because they win every year, but then they want to win more. You know, people like him, Joel Linton, he's made it. Ben White, he's made it. He signed the contract, he's done. He's sweet. Academy players are on like 10, 15 grand a week. They've never kicked a ball. You know, they could be on a 5-year contract on 20 grand a week, right? Driving around an 80 grand car, live at their mum's house and bank all the money. At the end of that contract, they can say, I'm retiring now. Never kicked a ball. Yeah, that's football now. It's clapped, bro.
I'm going through Newcastle's transfers because I need answers, and they spent obviously 25 million on Willock, 20 million on Wilson, 14 million on Jamal Lewis. Bloody hell, let's see where this ends up.
Look at the state of their midfield.
39 million on Joel Linton, 16 on
Corey's not having it. He's not having their midfield.
That midfield makes me feel physically sick. There's no defensive midfield. They've got Isaac Hayden and John Joe Shelby. It's awful. It's genuinely
this
the worst
John Joe, yeah. John Joe's a baller, bruv.
21 million on this Almiron guy.
He's a baller, man. That guy's a baller.
He's not.
He's a baller. He's just got a shit attitude.
No, he's not. John Joe Shelby has like good ball striking technique, and he's got range and he's passing, but he's not this baller.
He's technically decent. He's got range.
Yeah, he's technically decent, but he can't dribble with the ball. He's not a high volume scorer. He's not someone who's gonna run a game of football from start to finish. He's a very inconsistent.
He had a good season at Swansea that one time with Michu. Remember that?
Yeah, but where was he before that? He was at Liverpool and he ended up at Swansea. Listen, I can admit that John Joe Shelby, he's a Premier League player. Like, there are way worse midfielders in the league than John Joe Shelby. But John Joe Shelby is a player that really flatters to deceive, and he has done for years.
Right, his claim to fame was telling Fergie to fuck off, wasn't it, when he was at Liverpool? Yeah, it's like pointing his finger.
Where did he come up with these?
Do you not remember that? I think he got sent off.
Don't know.
I think he got sent off, or he was being subbed against Man United for Liverpool, right? And Fergie was like hyping up.
Oh, that was part of that Liverpool team that had like, who's that Italian left back they had that could shoot? What's his name? They had Aquilani as well back then.
Yeah.
Like that team.
Unreal team.
Yeah. Torres was in that team.
Volkaczewski, West Ham legend, mate.
Like, it was a weird one.
Fearing as well.
Donessa or something. Donessa. I don't know what his name was.
West Ham tried to fool us. They tried to trick us and make us believe that he was actually decent.
Was for us, mate, when you're scoring that goal in the FA
Cup. That's when he did a job at. He did a job at Fulham, though.
Yeah, he was good.
I like Volkaczewski at Fulham.
Yeah.
Spearing and Flanagan and them.
Jesus Christ. That guy was nicking a living.
He play for Billericay. Volkaczewski now.
Yeah.
Bloody
He's like
hell.
assistant manager or something, mad.
They have he's coming in again with another super chat. He's relentless, this one. He says they have more.
Where's he on my
titles.
channel? Bro, get on my channel. Lee Gunner, yeah?
You got enough, mate. I'm bloody starving, bro. I'm out here struggling. They have more league titles, and now with money, they're ambitious. What makes a club is history. I'm embarrassed.
I'm looking at
Spurs, my rival.
So wait. They have fair enough. I'm looking at Wikipedia now. Yeah,
They've got more league titles than Tottenham, yeah. And
They do have more league titles,
talking all this hype.
He said they got more trophies than us.
Fair enough. Technically, he was wrong, but
Yeah.
overall, yeah.
I'm not disputing his claim about the league titles. I've been looking at it now, and yeah, they've got 4. Spurs have got 2.
Man.
Yeah. All right. Well, moments of silence for that one. That's difficult to take. How are you feeling going into the Manchester United game before we close up with Toby?
Confident, man. Oli is looking for a lease of life. He's looking for a way out. He's looking for something to reel him back into favor, if you can even call it favor. And we're gonna give him that. 100%.
Oh, mate. Sorry to change the subject. I don't know why, but I've been permanently suspended on Twitter.
Wait, wow.
I'm not even joking. Look, I'm just looking to Twitter. Your account is permanently suspended.
After all this,
That's rough, mate.
we've spoken it into the gods. We've spoken it into.
Guys, I need to go in. I've got a work call.
No problem, bro. Off you go. We'll chat to you later, bro. We're gonna wrap up anyway. Subscribe to TapinTobs, guys. We've just been saying that Lee needs to come off Twitter.
Yeah,
and they've suspended him. Well, then you're free now. Don't make a new account. Yeah, you're good, bro. You're out, bro. That's it. It's all done. That should be in the title of the video. Lee Gunner permanently suspended from Twitter.
That's my live stream later when I wake up.
That's clickbait.
My Xbox is 2 stops away, so yeah, I'm gonna go back to sleep for an hour after that.
Right, well, that's the headline news there, guys. That's bigger than anything we've spoken about there. You guys are definitely going to miss Lee on Twitter. I know I am when I'm going on 3 a.m. just to check what's going on. I'm seeing back and forth between him and Jimmy from fucking Scunthorpe or whatever the fuck.
I got bagged. Maybe I should start another account and say got bagged at 21k.
Got bagged. Help me find my mutuals.
Yeah. Retweet to find mutuals.
Ratio. You know what? You should come under. You should come back as somebody else, not as your name. Come back as like a really generic Arsenal account and see what you see how many followers you can.
Yeah, like,
and then announce yourself at 100k. This is Lee Gunner. Fuck you all.
Yeah, Saucy Saka, bro. Yeah, like fucking what, Smith Rowe. Fucking maybe I could be a Smith Rowe fan account. Like,
no more Muppet Twitter now. Oh, Jesus Christ! The end of the series. Do you know what? That would be a great closing end of the series episode for Muppet Twitter series. Is like, I've been suspended. That would be fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I might do it later.
Definitely, bro. It would be fucking fun. Right. Well, guys, listen, that's been it from us. That was a funny way to end the show. Make sure you subscribe to everybody. The link is in the description as always. West Ham way for Corey. And obviously Lee Gunner Vlogs. Link is in the description. Go and check it out. Make sure you subscribe. There's a stream. It sounds like there's a big stream coming up later. Breaking news about that there. I'm definitely gonna be tuning in because I already know that's gonna be hilarious.
It even says you will not be able to create new accounts.
They've blocked your IP address.
Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, I don't even know what tweet it is. They ain't even told me what tweet it is. It's like,
bro, I think you've just been reported too many times. They're like,
yeah,
I've had enough of this guy.
Yeah, but I have. Do you know what's funny? Yeah, is I've not had a ban, like a lockout for 12 hours or 7 days. I ain't had one of them for about a year. So it's like, I don't know what I've tweeted for me to just go from 0 to 100 real quick.
Corey's link is in the chat. Lee's link is in the chat. Make sure you subscribe. Please smash the likes on this. There's over 1,000 of you in here. I know you guys have enjoyed the show, so make sure you smash up the likes. Show it some love. Subscribe if you're new. I'm trying to crawl to 20k here, so if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. This is a weekly show. Even if you just love this show, it's always a belter every single week. We had an absolute belter last week as well, so it's good to be back. And I see you, man. Next time, like I said, make sure you subscribe to all the boys. They help make the show. I couldn't do it without them, of course. And I'll see you, man, in a bit.
I'll pet her out.
Peace.